Okay, so we're here once again in Mining Simulator 2, and for today's video I'm basically going to show you guys how to get an infinite amount of gems. Honestly, it's kind of crazy right now with this ×2 gems event going on, and yeah, basically let's just get straight into it. And we're going to start off with kind of like the random boring bits. Basically, if you do want to get a lot of gems, what I'd recommend doing is first of all coming down to your game passes over here and getting the ×2 gems game pass whilst you can right now. 4 times gems is honestly completely game breaking. If you can get this, it's going to make it way easier to get these gems as well. So if you can, I would highly consider getting that ×2 gems game pass. And on top of that as well, if you do have some leftover Robux, go through this season pass. You get around 50,000 gems per pass through, which is kind of crazy. If you do 10 pass throughs of this, that's already 500,000 gems. 20 pass throughs, it's going to give you 1 million gems. And honestly, it's going to take you about half an hour to get through all of that. So yeah, basically, if you want to do that, 1 million gems, 2 million gems per hour basically. Honestly, really easy. However, if you don't have any Robux to spend and you are still basically just kind of using the ×2 gems that we have right here, this is going to be a small little method that you need to do to basically kind of up your gems as quick as possible. And yeah, now I would still highly recommend you get that ×2 gems game pass, but honestly it doesn't really matter too much because it's still going to be very overpowered right now with that ×2 gems event. So let's just get straight into it. So one thing you're going to need is somewhat of a capable team. Now if you don't really have a capable team right now, I would 100% recommend going to the space travel, coming over here to the summer fair event and just grinding this out for like half an hour, maybe like an hour. After you've literally grinded this out for like an hour, you're going to get some really good pets. So yeah, basically grind out this event just to kind of get some good pets. Once you have some good pets, rebirth. Rebirthing right now is going to be seriously important, and I know it sounds boring to rebirth, however you're going to get a ton of gems. It's going to be completely broken, and depending on what team you have, you can honestly rebirth in like 15 seconds. So for my team right now, as you can see, I get a ton of coins. My best pet right now is doing 18,000 coins. And my worst pet is doing 16,000. So honestly, right now, I'm pretty sure I could literally mine like just this much. I'll probably sell and near enough get enough. But as you can see, I'm just going to quickly rebirth right now whilst I have the coins. And that's already 600 gems right there. And basically, I've kind of worked it out. If you can rebirth like 3 times in a minute, then you're going to get around, I think it's like 180,000 gems a day, which is honestly a massive bonus, which I would 100% recommend doing. If you can get that much, it's going to really help out with things such as like all the stuff like here. And another thing as well, these gem chests. Now I'm not even too sure that actually worked on the gem chest. I would have expected to actually get like 14,000 or 1,400, sorry, from that gem chest, but I guess the gem chests don't have this ×2 gems event on them, which is a little bit weird. But still, if you can get that 180,000 gems a day, it's honestly going to really help. If you can't rebirth that much, you're still going to get around 100,000 gems per day, which is going to be a massive help. So I would 100% right now recommend rebirthing. Really, the main thing though about this event right now, we're just going to quickly go ahead and actually rebirth once more. But yeah, basically the main thing right now that you need to be doing is your factory, because the factory is going to be seriously overpowered for everyone. Now, as you can see right now, I obviously do have ×2 gems game pass and the event, so I'm currently getting 4,600 gems for the 3 trillion coins. However, if you don't have the ×2 gems game pass, you'll still be getting 2,300 gems, which honestly is a lot of gems to get, and it's going to help you out a ton. Now, if you do have the ×2 gems game pass, this factory is going to be your literal life during this ×2 gems. You're going to keep going back honestly all the time. Now, one thing I would recommend as well is getting as many space coins as you can. I've said this before, the space coins part of all of that is going to be really good. The more space coins you can get, the better, because it's around, I think it's 950 billion for the best option, and it's going to give you a ton of gems. It's 7,600 gems, or I think it's around 3,800 gems per 2 hours, which overall, if you have the ×2 gems game pass and ×2 gems event with that 7,600 gems per 2 hours, you're going to get around 300,000 gems. I think it's like on like properly 250,000 gems per day. So basically overall right now you're getting around 350,000, depending on how good you can rebirth, maybe even around 450,000 gems per day, and that's going to be more than enough to hatch that mystery egg overnight. Now obviously this is like every 24 hours, so kind of just taking off a couple hours. Obviously you're not going to be grinding that much. You may be getting something around 150 to 200,000 gems per day, and that is still going to be more or less enough to actually grind overnight, which is going to be really good, because obviously everybody loves grinding overnight, and if you can, you basically got the best chance of getting a secret. So yeah, basically those two ways are the best. Now obviously as well we have one other thing in the game which is a massive help on top of that as well, and that is the Gem Genie. Now some of the quests on the Gem Genie are a little bit kind of annoying and really tedious, just really long to do. However, still these can be really quick to do. Now as you can see, 275 gold may seem like a lot, however if you know where to find it, honestly it's going to be amazing. As you can see right now, for me it's 250 million blocks and 275 gold to get 18,000 gems. This may take you like 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes to do per, and basically you're going to get a ton more gems. So honestly, if you are the maddest of grinders, you can get over 500,000 gems per day, easy peasy. If you are a crazy like no sleep, no life grinder, you may even get up to 700,000 gems per day, which is going to be a massive boost. And obviously if you're like me and you have Robux to waste, you can go ahead and do the season 2 pass. It's going to be amazing. You're going to get literally 2 million gems per hour. So yeah, honestly, if you can do that, do it. However, obviously for the people who can't do that, make sure you do definitely use the Gem Genie and the factory and just rebirth your buttocks off basically. And honestly, throughout this whole weekend, I would just recommend grinding up gems instead of hatching. Obviously that ×2 luck is going to last until Friday, so that's going to be more than enough time to do some hatching. And obviously right now for me, I have 641,000 gems. However, that might last me 2 or 3 days, which obviously isn't enough. So for me right now, I would highly recommend getting at least around like 1 million to 1.5 million gems if you do want to consistently grind this mystery egg. And on top of that as well, try and get a little bit more gems, obviously, so you can get some boosts and stuff. These things don't come cheap. As you can see, 18,000 gems there for 2 hours of that Omega Lucky, which is obviously going to be one of those Gem Genie things over there. So yeah, you're going to need to get a lot of gems. And on top of that as well, you can also use the ticket shop, the event shop, to get some boosts as well. And obviously you can still get them from the season 2 pass. So yeah, if you do follow these tips, it was going to get you a ton of gems. Overall, I would say on average you could be getting around 350,000 gems per day, depending on how much you grind. It's going to be anywhere between 100,000 and 700,000 gems. It just depends on how much work you want to put in. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.